Talk a little bit about Shohei Ohtani, who last year was the runaway MVP, and if we assume he's MVP chalk again this year, he's one of the favorites. What about the pitching component here and that big award, the Cy Young? Because last year, and I'll send it to you this way, last year, big strikeout totals first few months of the season, but he couldn't get deep into starts because the pitch count got such, because we all know that strikeouts usually come with high pitch counts, right? He changed his arsenal dramatically in the second half of the season, used the split more sparingly, and threw a ton of sliders, lasted longer in games. In other words, he can do whatever he wants. Is he a Cy Young contender for you?
Well, he does seem to be able to do whatever he wants. Let me throw it back at you this way. First of all, the MVP race. He should be MVP chalk for the next 5 years if he can make 25 starts and DH in enough games where he hits 280 with 30 homers. He doesn't have to do the things that he did last year offensively or even on the bump, because you would think you combine those two things that I just did, above average and above average at two different locations, pretty much makes you the MVP chalk because nobody else is doing it.
Right.
And then somebody will get bored writing his name in and give it to somebody else.
Hate how that happens.
Can he be the Cy Young? The answer, yes, because his stuff is there. I just don't know with his 130 innings pitched. Can he make a jump up there to be clear-cut, okay, that's the best pitcher in the game? I think his stuff certainly could be the best pitcher in the game, but I don't know if he's going to put the innings out there because he hasn't shown me. I'm still in this undecided zone. Somehow, some way, can he be this unbelievable two-way guy? Even though he should be the MVP because he's going to do him slightly above average, even on a bad year. But the numbers that he has to accumulate as far as being on the mound, I don't think he's ever going to be the top guy in that category with 130 innings pitched.
Yeah, and I don't know that you can realistically bank on anything north of 25 starts in 150 innings.
Right.
Somebody like this, or anybody for that matter, in the way today's game is strategized. Keith, what were the thresholds last year, and what were the King Felix numbers when he won the Cy Young? Because that was the year that for many of us it changed. You know, he won without victories, but with bigger ancillary stats.
Yeah, Felix obviously had a lot of volume. That was always his thing, very durable. It was the wins that was kind of the talking point there. But quickly on this conversation, just to go back to the MVP, he's plus 350 to win the MVP. That is chalk, as you guys said. And he's plus 2,000 for the Cy Young, which puts him just outside of the top 15 in the American League. Maddie, my question for you, Bill talked about those volume numbers. He actually had better numbers on regular rest last year than what he was used to doing in Japan. 4-0, 231 on 5 days rest and 6 starts, 3.55 ERA and 17 starts on 6 or more days rest. Obviously, you're not keeping him in 5 days for a full 32 turns, but what was your take on that, seeing them a lot kind of his routine on 5 days versus more rest?
Yeah, I'm aware of those numbers as well, and I would almost consider them a little fluky. And moving forward, I don't know if the Angels would be willing to use him on 5 days rest very often because of the quote-unquote Ohtani rule, where you can keep him in the lineup now.
Correct.
His days become a little bit more taxing than they were even last year. So, again, I think it's hard to bank on anything north of 25 starts on 150 innings. I still have him as somebody that might be worth a dart throw for a Cy Young, too, because he's that good. Let's have this.